Okay, now we're going to talk about how to add and subtract in scientific notation. There are two options. If you look at your study guide thing, there's two blanks in there. The first one says to add or subtract, either change both to, we're going to write in the blank standard. So you change it both to normal numbers and then you just add and subtract. That's one method. I'm going to show you how to do that method, and then we'll talk about the second blank. So I'm going to get a problem that's different than the example on our page. So we are given a number in scientific notation, 3.5. Oh, that's the one that's on there. 3.7 times 10 to the third times 4.1 times 10 to the fourth. Okay, so we're going to change both of these into standard notation, and then, sorry, not times, plus. Sorry, guys. And we're going to add those together. So there's a plus sign in between, which means we're going to be adding. So we first changed 3.7 times 10 to the third into a big number. This tells me I'm moving 3 spaces. One of those spaces is a 7, and then 2 more zeros. So that's how we got 3 spaces. Plus, because there is technically a plus sign in here. I wrote it in later, sorry. Let me make that much clearer because I don't want it to get confusing. There has to be a plus sign written in there. It'll tell you what you're doing. If it doesn't have any sign at all, then it's multiplication. Okay, so this is 4 spaces. So I write 4 and then 1. That's one of the spaces. 2, 3, 4. So it's 41,000. Now I have to think about how I add numbers. Remember, we don't add monies. I got monies, lots of monies. We add them by lining them up. So I have 41000, 3700. Think about what this is. It's $41,000 plus $3,700. Sorry, I'm on a rolly ball, so I'm moving. So this means that we're not going to line up the 4 and the 3 because 3 is only 3,000 and the 4 is 40,000. So we don't add those two together because they're not the same amount of money. We have to line them up appropriately. Then I add, I get 0, 0, 7, 4, and 4. And then my final step is to change it back into scientific notation. So I know it's going to be 4.47 because it's more than 1 but less than 10. I'm looking at this number here, 44700, and I put times 10, and I went 4 spaces. So it's 10 to the 4th. So there's my answer by converting it. This one's a really easy method to use. It takes more time, but conceptually it's nice to understand. Now I'm going to show you the second method. That's the second blank that's on the page. It says, or make sure the exponent in the power of 10 is the blank before you add or subtract. So that would be that they are the same. So in that second blank, you're going to put the same. We want to change them to be the same power of 10. So to do that on my made up example, I'm going to change these to be the same power of 10. Usually what I do is I change the smaller exponent to become the bigger exponent. I think it's easier that way. So I'm going to change the 3 to become a 4. 3 is counting how many spaces we moved to get it to become 3.7. So I went 3 spaces to get here. I want it to be a 4. So I'm going to go 1 more space to make it 4 spaces. That means that this number, 3.7, is going to become 0.37 times 10 to the 4th. I know that's not in scientific notation anymore. That's kind of the point, is we're just trying to change it so the exponent is the same as this one. 4.1 times 10 to the 4th. Now what we do is we add just this number and this number. If you remember from before, I said you can't add the 3 and the 4 together because they're different values. So here, different amounts. I'm going to line up my decimals and add these, and I get 4.47, and then I just keep the 10 to the 4th. This is the exact same answer we got the first method. That's because they're the same method, or the same answer. It's the same problem. It's just 2 different ways to get that answer. So I want you to try the example on there, and I'll make a new video of the answer.